Defying tractor ban, Dutch farmers drive to The Hague to protest Green Agenda Cull. The Dutch farmers drove tractors to The Hague on Saturday, ignoring the ban on heavy vehicles that was imposed ahead of a protest against the government's green agenda. The farmers, waving flags and banners, ignored an emergency ban on heavy vehicles into the city to demonstrate ahead of regional elections in the Netherlands next week. More than 10,000 Dutch farmers were at the protest, according to reports. Breitbart reports the municipal government imposed an emergency order in the city on a day when thousands of farmers were set to gather in a park, and climate activists from the Extinction Rebellion group were also planning a protest action on a major road. Authorities placed army trucks near some crossroads, ready to block the streets if tractors tried to drive into the city center. The demonstrators come days before Dutch voters go to the polls in provincial elections Wednesday that indirectly also elect the national parliament's upper house and could have an effect on proposals for reducing nitrate use, driven by European Union dictates and likely to inflict a heavy blow on farmers or force them out of business altogether. The farmers also are protesting government policies on child welfare benefits and the treatment of residents in the northern province of Groningen, whose homes have been damaged by earthquakes caused by decades of natural gas extraction. Rotterdam broadcaster Rinmond showed a video of a convoy of tractors crossing the city's Erasmus Bridge early Saturday, apparently on their way to The Hague. One of the tractors was emblazoned with a banner saying in Dutch, "Proud of the farmer." Police in The Hague said that they stopped a group of tractors near the city and told their drivers to park in a nearby village and take the bus to the protest. The city's mayor said this week he would allow just 2 tractors to park at the event. Anger at moves to cut nitrate use has spread from the Netherlands to other European nations, where with there being a widespread perception that the policies are being driven by the European Union. Just over a week ago, farmers drove hundreds of tractors into the heart of the Belgian capital of Brussels, which also serves as the EU's main seat of power, snarly traffic. We see tractors on their way to The Hague from various locations, police in the city said. We are monitoring the roads and telling drivers of these vehicles not to enter The Hague. The city banned tractors, citing safety concerns. They banned the tractors for that reason. At protests in recent years, farmers have driven hundreds of tractors into the center of The Hague. The government has said that nitrate emissions, which are produced by livestock, transport, and industry, must be drastically reduced close to nature areas that are part of a network to protect habitats for endangered plants and wildlife stretching across the 27-member European Union. The governing coalition wants to cut emissions of pollutants, predominantly nitrates, by 50% nationwide by 2030. Ministers call the proposal an unavoidable transition that aims to improve air, land, and water quality, and have warned that it will mean that not all farmers can continue their business. Farmers that have existed for generations now have to close down, said Tom van der Driesch, a member of the European Parliament from the Vlaams Belang Party in Belgium, in recent comments to Breitbart. Not coincidentally, Stalin, Mao, and Pol Pot all waged war against farmers, their independence and self-determination, he said, accusing the EU of pursuing extremist climate policies that are bad for ordinary people. Meat they want to reduce with replace with insects. Cars they want to ban. Freedom surveillance by QR codes. This EU is increasingly becoming the EU SSR, he said, alluding to the former Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, the USSR. This is on News Punch by Niamh Harris. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box